The rain hit the roof of the small garage like bullets. Minji Park wiped her hands on an old rag and looked at the clock on the wall. It was almost 7 in the evening. Time to close up and go home. She had been working since 6 in the morning. Her body was tired, and her hands were covered in grease and oil. This was her life now. Every single day she came to this garage, fixed cars and trucks, and tried to keep her father's business alive. Minji was only 24 years old, but she felt much older. 2 years ago, her father died from a heart attack. He left her this garage and nothing else. No money in the bank. No other family to help. Just this small building with tools and memories. The town was small, sitting near the ocean in Oregon. Most people here knew each other. They knew Minji too. The quiet girl who fixed their cars. The girl who never smiled much anymore. The girl who worked alone every day trying to survive. She walked to the big garage door and was about to pull it down when she heard the sound of motorcycles. But the sound was wrong. The engines were coughing and dying. Then she heard voices. Young voices shouting over the storm. 3 teenage boys ran into her garage. They were completely wet. Water dripped from their hair and clothes. They were shaking from the cold. "Please," the first boy said, breathing hard. "We need help. Our bikes died on the road. We have nowhere to go." Minji looked at them carefully. They were about 16 or 17 years old. They wore expensive motorcycle gear. Even wet and dirty, she could see the brands. These were rich kids. But right now they looked scared and cold. The boy who spoke was tall with dark hair. His eyes were honest. The other 2 boys stood behind him, looking around nervously. One was shorter with glasses. The other had a round face and kept rubbing his arms to stay warm. "Come inside," Minji said. She did not think about it. Her father always taught her to help people first, ask questions later. She took them to the small office in the back of the garage. It was not much. Just a desk, some chairs, and a tiny kitchen area. But it was warm and dry. "Take off those wet jackets," she told them. She went to a closet and pulled out some old coveralls. "Put these on. They are too big, but they are dry." While the boys changed, Minji made coffee. She found some instant ramen in the cupboard and heated water. It was not fancy food, but it was hot. The tall boy came back wearing the coveralls. He looked funny in clothes that were too big for him. But he was not laughing. He looked grateful. "Thank you," he said. "I am Jae-won. This is Daehyun and Sung-min." He pointed to his friends. "Minji," she said simply. She handed them cups of hot coffee. The boys sat down and wrapped their hands around the warm cups. Slowly, they stopped shaking. "What happened to your bikes?" Minji asked. "We were riding from Seattle," Jae-won explained. "We are on a road trip. The storm came so fast. We tried to find shelter, but the bikes started having problems. Then they just died. About 2 miles from here. Your phones?" Minji asked. "Dead," Daehyun said sadly. He was the one with glasses. "We forgot to charge them last night." Minji nodded. She understood bad luck. She picked up her own phone and called the local tow service. Maybe they could help. The phone rang and rang. Finally, someone answered. "Sorry, Minji," the man said. "We cannot come. Big accident on the highway. All our trucks are there. Maybe tomorrow morning." Minji hung up the phone. She looked at the 3 boys eating their ramen. They looked so young, so far from home. And the storm outside was getting worse. She could hear the wind howling now. The rain sounded even harder than before. Through the small window, she could see water starting to flood the street. "Where are your motorcycles?" she asked. "On the coastal highway," Sung-min said. He was the one with the round face, near that big curve. "You know the place?" Minji knew it. That curve was dangerous. It was close to the cliff. If the bikes stayed there all night in this storm, they might get damaged. "Or worse, they might slide off the edge. I will get them," she said. The 3 boys stared at her. "What?" "No," Jae-won said quickly. "We cannot ask you to do that. The storm is too dangerous." "You did not ask," Minji said. "But those bikes will not survive the night out there. I have a truck. I can tow them back." "But," Daehyun started to say. "It is okay," Minji said. She was already putting on her heavy rain jacket. "I know these roads. I have driven in storms before." This was not completely true. She had never driven in a storm this bad. But she could not leave those motorcycles out there. And she could not leave these boys stranded with no way home. "We are coming with you," Jae-won said firmly. "No," Minji said. "Yes," Jae-won said. "They are our bikes." We should help. Minji looked at his face. He was stubborn. She could see that. And maybe it was better to have help. She nodded. Fine, but stay close and listen to what I say. They all climbed into her old truck. It was rusty and loud, but it worked. Minji started the engine and drove out into the storm. The rain was so heavy she could barely see. The windshield wipers moved as fast as they could, but it was not enough. She leaned forward, trying to see the road. There, J1 said, pointing. I see them. 3 motorcycles sat on the side of the road. They looked expensive even in the dark and rain. Minji pulled over carefully. The ground was soft and muddy. Daehyun, you help me with the straps, she said. Jaewon and Sungmin, you push the bikes. One at a time, they worked together in the rain. Minji was impressed. These rich boys did not complain. They pushed and pulled and lifted. They got covered in mud and did not care. They loaded 2 bikes easily, but the third one was stuck in deep mud. They pushed hard, but it did not move. Wait, Minji said. She went to get a board from her truck to put under the wheel. That was when she heard Sungmin scream. The bike, it is sliding. Minji turned around. The ground was so wet that the motorcycle was sliding toward the edge of the cliff. Jaewon and Daehyun were trying to hold it, but they were slipping too. Minji did not think. She ran and grabbed the bike. She dug her feet into the mud and pulled with all her strength. Her muscles screamed. Her hand slipped on the wet metal. Pull, she shouted. All 4 of them pulled together. Slowly, inch by inch, they moved the motorcycle away from the edge. Finally, it was safe. They all fell down in the mud, breathing hard. Minji's heart was beating so fast she could hear it in her ears. That was close, Daehyun said quietly. Too close, Minji thought. But she did not say it out loud. They loaded the last bike and drove back to the garage. When they got there, Minji noticed something wrong. Her truck was making a strange sound. She got out and looked. A big piece of wood was stuck under the truck. It had hit something during the storm. The metal underneath was damaged. Minji felt her heart sink. This truck was her only vehicle. She needed it for work, and she knew this damage would cost thousands of dollars to fix. Money she did not have, but she did not say anything to the boys. They looked so relieved to be back safe. She would worry about the truck tomorrow. You can sleep in the office, she told them. There is a small couch. I will bring some blankets. Where will you sleep? Jaewon asked. I have a cot in the storage room, Minji said. I sleep here sometimes when I work late. This was also not completely true. She slept here almost every night because she could not afford to pay for both the garage and an apartment. But the boys did not need to know that. She brought them blankets and pillows. They tried to thank her, but she just waved her hand. Get some rest, she said. Tomorrow we will look at your bikes. But before she could leave, Jaewon called out to her. Minji, he said softly. Why did you help us? You do not know us. We could be anyone. Minji stopped at the door. She thought about her father. About all the times he helped people even when he had nothing to give. My father taught me something, she said. He said people are more important than profit. Always. She saw the 3 boys look at each other. They had strange expressions on their faces, like they were thinking about something important. But Minji was too tired to wonder what it meant. She went to her cot and lay down. Her body hurt. Her hands hurt. Her heart hurt when she thought about her damaged truck. But somehow she felt good. She had helped someone today. Her father would be proud. Outside, the storm slowly began to calm. Inside the garage, 4 people slept. 3 boys who were running from something, and 1 girl who was just trying to survive. None of them knew that this night would change everything. Minji woke up when the sun came through the small window. Her whole body felt sore. She sat up slowly and rubbed her eyes. For a moment, she forgot about the 3 boys sleeping in her office. Then she remembered everything. She walked quietly to her truck and looked at the damage again. In the daylight, it looked even worse. The metal frame underneath was bent. The exhaust pipe was cracked. She would need new parts and many hours of work. Maybe $3,000. Maybe more. Minji felt sick to her stomach. She did not have $3,000. She barely had $300. The garage was struggling every month. She had bills that were not paid. The bank kept sending her letters about the mortgage, but she could not think about that now. She had 3 boys to help first. She went back inside and started making coffee. The smell woke the boys. They came out of the office looking tired but better than last night. Their hair was messy and they still wore the big coveralls. "Good morning," Jae-won said. "Did you sleep okay?" "Yes," Minji lied. "Are you hungry?" She made them breakfast with what she had. Eggs, toast, and more coffee. It was simple food, but the boys ate like they were starving. Minji watched them and felt a little happy. At least she could give them something. After breakfast, she went to look at their motorcycles. All 3 bikes were high-end models. Very expensive. She could see water damage in the engines. The electrical systems had problems too. She would need special parts that she did not have in stock. "How bad is it?" Dae-hyun asked. He stood next to her, looking worried. "Not terrible," Minji said, "but not good either. I need to order parts. It will take 2 or 3 days, maybe longer. How much will it cost?" Sungmin asked quietly. Minji did the math in her head. "About $1,500 per bike. That is a fair price. I am not trying to cheat you." She saw the 3 boys look at each other. They moved away and started talking in low voices. Minji tried not to listen, but she heard some words. They sounded worried about money. This surprised her. Their gear was so expensive. Their bikes cost more than her truck. How could they not have money? The boys came back looking uncomfortable. "Can we pay you later?" Jae-won asked. "When we get home to Seattle, we will send you the money." "I promise." Minji studied his face. He looked honest and desperate. "Okay," she said. "I trust you." "Really?" All 3 boys looked shocked. "Really," Minji said. "But I need your names, addresses, and phone numbers." Just in case, they quickly wrote down their information. Minji noticed their addresses were all in expensive neighborhoods in Seattle. Maybe they did have money. Maybe they just did not have it with them right now. She called her parts supplier and ordered what she needed. The parts would arrive tomorrow morning. That meant the boys would be stuck here for at least 2 more days. Around noon, Mrs. Chen from the bakery next door came over. She was a kind old woman who had known Minji's father. She brought fresh bread and soup. "I heard you had visitors," Mrs. Chen said in Korean. She looked at the 3 boys with suspicious eyes. "Who are they?" "Just some travelers who needed help," Minji said. "They look rich," Mrs. Chen said. "Be careful, Minji. Rich kids sometimes play games. They might not pay you." "They will pay," Minji said. She believed it. Mrs. Chen shook her head but left the food anyway. The boys loved the soup. They ate 2 bowls each. In the afternoon, the local sheriff stopped by. Sheriff Williams was a big man with gray hair. He had been friends with Minji's father too. "Heard you got some strangers here," he said. He looked at the boys like they might be criminals. "They are just passing through," Minji said. "Their bikes broke down. You sure they are not trouble?" The sheriff asked loudly. The boys could hear him. "I am sure," Minji said firmly. "They are good kids. They just need help." The sheriff looked at her for a long moment. Then he nodded. "Your father always said you had good instincts. I hope he was right." After he left, Jae-won came to Minji. "Thank you for defending us," he said. "You do not really know us, but you keep trusting us." "Everyone deserves a chance," Minji said simply. The boys wanted to help, so Minji gave them jobs. Dae-hyun was good with tools. She taught him how to check oil and change air filters. Sungmin was friendly and talked to customers who came in. Jae-won noticed her messy desk and started organizing papers. That was when Jae-won saw the letters from the bank. Minji was in the bathroom and he did not mean to snoop. But the letters were right there on top of the pile. Red letters that said final notice and foreclosure warning. When Minji came back, Jae-won quickly looked away. But she saw his face. She knew he had seen the letters. "It is not your problem," she said quietly. "You are 3 months behind?" Jae-won asked. "The bank wants to take the garage?" Minji did not answer. She just went back to work on a car. But Jae-won would not let it go. "Why did you help us if you do not have money? You damaged your truck saving our bikes. That will cost thousands." "Because it was the right thing to do," Minji said. Her voice was tired. "My father always did the right thing, even when it cost him. That is why this garage exists. That is why I exist." She did not mean to say so much. The words just came out. Maybe she was more tired than she thought. The 3 boys were quiet for a long time after that. That evening, Jae-won went outside to make a phone call. Minji did not mean to listen, but the window was open. She heard him speaking Korean. "Father, I am fine," Jae-won said. "No, I am not coming back yet. Because I am not ready. I do not care about the business meetings. That is your dream, not mine. I want to make music, not run a company. Why can you not understand that? His voice was frustrated and sad. Minji understood then. These boys were not on a fun road trip. They were running away from something. Maybe from families that wanted them to be someone they were not. She knew that feeling. After her father died, everyone told her to sell the garage. They said she should go to college, get a real job, have a normal life. But she could not let go of this place. It was all she had left of him. She did not tell the boys that she heard Jaewon's phone call. Everyone had secrets. Everyone had pain. She would not make them share theirs. That night, they all ate dinner together. Minji made spaghetti with cheap sauce. But somehow, sitting there with the three boys, it felt nice. She had been alone for so long. She forgot what it was like to have people around. "Can I ask you something?" Sungmin said. "What would you do if you had money?" "Like a lot of money?" Minji thought about it. "I would save this place," she said. "I would pay the bank, buy better equipment, maybe hire someone to help me. I would make it like my father wanted. A place where anyone can get their car fixed even if they do not have much money." "That is a good dream," Daehyun said softly. "It is just a dream," Minji said with a sad smile. "Dreams do not pay bills." The boys got quiet again. They looked at each other with those strange expressions, like they were having a conversation without words. "What about you?" Minji asked. "What are your dreams?" Jaewon looked surprised. No one had asked him that in a long time. "I want to make music," he said. "I play guitar. I write songs. But my father wants me to run his company. He says music is just a hobby. I want to build things," Daehyun said. "Machines, robots, anything. But my mother is a famous doctor. She wants me to be a doctor too." "I want to work with food," Sungmin said. "My family owns restaurants, but they just manage them. I want to actually cook. I want to create new dishes. But they say that is not good enough." Minji listened to them. These rich boys with their expensive bikes and fancy clothes. They were just as trapped as she was. Maybe money did not solve everything after all. "You should follow your dreams," she said. "Life is too short to live someone else's dream." "Is that what you are doing?" Jaewon asked. Minji looked around the garage, at her father's old tools, at the pictures of him on the wall. "Yes," she said. "This was his dream. But it became mine too. I cannot explain it. But when I am here, working on engines, helping people, I feel close to him. I feel like I am doing what I was meant to do." The boys were quiet, thinking about her words. Later that night, after the boys went to sleep, Minji sat at her father's old desk. She looked at the bills and the bank letters. She did the math again. Even if the boys paid her for fixing the bikes, it would not be enough. She needed at least $10,000 to save the garage. She put her head down on the desk. For the first time in months, she let herself cry. She cried for her father. She cried for her broken truck. She cried because she was tired of being strong and alone. She did not know that in the office, Jaewon was still awake. He heard her crying through the thin walls. He looked at his two friends. They were awake too. "We have to help her," Sungmin whispered. "How?" Daehyun asked. "We only have a few $100s between us. Our parents cut off our credit cards when we ran away. Then we call our parents," Jaewon said. "We tell them about Minji, about what she did for us. They will make us come home," Daehyun said. "I know," Jaewon said, "but maybe it is time. And maybe we can help Minji before we go." The three boys talked late into the night. They made a plan. They did not know if it would work, but they had to try. Minji saved them. Now it was their turn to save her. In the morning, Minji woke up and washed her face. She tried to hide that she had been crying. She made coffee and started working. The boys helped her like they did yesterday. Around 10 o'clock, Jaewon's phone rang. He went outside to answer it. When he came back, his face looked serious. "Minji," he said, "we need to tell you something." Minji looked at Jaewon's serious face. Her stomach felt tight. "Was something wrong? Were they in trouble? What is it?" she asked. Before Jaewon could answer, a big black car pulled up in front of the garage. It was long and shiny, expensive, the kind of car Minji only saw in movies. A man in a dark suit got out. He was tall and had gray hair. His face looked stern and cold. He walked into the garage like he owned it. "Jaewon," the man said. His voice was hard. "Your father sent me to bring you home. You and your friends." Minji understood then. This was serious. Very serious. "Who are you?" she asked. "Mr. Kang," the man said. I am head of security for the Kwan family. He looked at Minji like she was not important. Where are the other two boys? Daehyun and Sungmin came out from the back. They looked scared. We need to leave, Mr. Kang said. Your families have been looking for you for 3 days. Do you know how worried they are? Do you know what could have happened? We are fine, Jaewon said, but his voice was small. You are not fine, Mr. Kang said. You ran away from important business meetings. You turned off your phones. Your fathers had to hire people to find you. This is unacceptable. Minji watched the boys. They looked like children being scolded. All the confidence they had was gone. We just needed some time, Daehyun said quietly. Time? Mr. Kang's voice got louder.
Time for what?
To worry your families? To embarrass them? It is not like that, Sungmin started to say. It is exactly like that, Mr. Kang said. Now get your things. We are leaving immediately. But our bikes are not fixed yet, Jaewon said. We will send someone to get them later. Mr. Kang said, let us go. Minji felt strange watching this. These boys helped her for 2 days. They worked hard. They made her laugh. Now they were being taken away like prisoners. Wait, she said. Mr. Kang looked at her. This does not concern you. They helped me, Minji said. They were good guests. They worked hard. I am sure they did, Mr. Kang said. His voice was cold. But they need to go home now. Their families are waiting. The boys started to move toward the door. Jaewon turned back to look at Minji. I am sorry, he said. We wanted to help you more. It is okay, Minji said. But her heart felt heavy. No, wait, Jaewon said. He pulled out his wallet. The repairs. Let us pay you now. You do not have to, Minji said. You can send it later. Please, Jaewon said. He took out some cash. It was about $500. This is all we have right now. But we will send more. I promise. Daehyun and Sungmin added their money too. Together it was about $800. This is not enough for the repairs, Minji said. We know, Jaewon said. But take it, please, and we will send the rest. Plus money for your truck. We know we damaged it. The truck is not your fault, Minji said. Yes, it is, Jaewon said. His eyes were wet. You heard it saving our bikes. That makes it our fault. Minji did not know what to say. She took the money. Thank you. We need to go, Mr. Kang said. He was getting impatient. The boys started to leave. But at the door, Sungmin ran back. He hugged Minji quickly. She was so surprised she did not move. You are the coolest person we ever met, Sungmin said. Then he ran back to his friends. Daehyun gave her a small wave. Jaewon stood at the door for a moment longer. You told us to follow our dreams, he said. I am going to try. I promise. Then they were gone. Minji stood alone in her garage. It felt empty now. Too empty. She did not realize how much she liked having them around. She looked at the money in her hand. $800. It helped, but it was not enough. Not enough to fix the bikes properly. Not enough to fix her truck. Not enough to save the garage. She went back to work. What else could she do? She had a farmer's old tractor to fix. She had bills to pay. She had to keep moving forward, but she kept thinking about the boys, about their sad faces when Mr. Kang came, about how they wanted to help her but could not. Hours passed. Minji worked on the tractor. Her hands moved automatically. Her mind was somewhere else. Around 4 o'clock, she heard motorcycles. Her heart jumped. Were they back? But when she looked, it was just some other riders passing through town. She felt foolish. Of course they were not back. They were probably already in Seattle by now, back to their rich families and big houses. They would forget about her. That was how life worked. At 6 o'clock, she cleaned up and got ready to close. She walked through the garage, checking everything. That was when she saw it, an envelope on her desk. A white envelope that was not there before. Her name was written on it in neat handwriting. Minji opened it with shaking hands. Inside was money. A lot of money. She counted it. $5,000. All in $100 bills. There was also a note. It said, for the truck. No arguments. Thank you for everything. We will never forget you. Jaewon, Daehyun, and Sungmin. Minji sat down hard in her father's old chair. $5,000. The boys must have hidden this money. They must have planned it before they left. She started crying. But this time they were different tears. Not sad tears. Grateful tears. Overwhelmed tears, these boys did not have to do this. She helped them because it was right, not because she wanted payment. But they gave anyway. She held the money close to her chest. $5,000 would not save the garage completely, but it would fix her truck. It would pay some bills. It would give her more time. That night, Minji could not sleep. She kept thinking about the boys, about their kindness, about how they cared even though they had their own problems. The next morning, she went to the bank. She paid what she could on the mortgage. The bank manager looked surprised. "Miss Park," he said, "this is good, but you still owe much more." "I know," Minji said, "but I will pay it, little by little. I will not give up." She used the rest of the money to fix her truck. She worked on it herself to save money on labor. It took her 3 days, but she got it running again. During those 3 days, she kept hoping the boys would call or text. But her phone stayed quiet. Maybe they were too busy. Maybe their families kept them too busy to remember her. She told herself it was okay. She told herself she did not need them to call. They already did enough, but she missed them. She missed their laughter. She missed having people to talk to. She missed not being alone. A week passed. Then 2 weeks. Minji went back to her normal life. Wake up, work, sleep. Wake up, work, sleep. The same routine she had before the boys came. Mrs. Chen came by sometimes. Sheriff Williams checked on her. A few regular customers brought their cars in, but the garage was still struggling. The bills kept coming. The bank kept sending letters. Minji tried not to think about it too much. She just worked. That was all she could do. 1 month after the boys left, something strange happened. Minji was under a car changing the oil when she heard vehicles pull up. A lot of vehicles. She rolled out from under the car. Her face and hands were covered in oil. She looked up and froze. 3 motorcycles sat in front of her garage. She recognized them. They were the bikes she fixed, but they looked perfect now, clean and shiny. Behind the motorcycles were 2 big black SUVs, the kind that important people drive. The motorcycle riders took off their helmets. It was them, Jaewon, Daehyun, and Sungmin. They were smiling. "Surprised," Jaewon said. Minji could not speak. She just stared. The doors of the SUVs opened. People got out. Lots of people. Men in expensive suits. Women in elegant clothes. They looked like they belonged in a magazine, not in her small, dirty garage. "Minji," Jaewon said. He walked up to her. "We came back, and we brought our families." "Your families?" Minji looked at all the people. There were at least 10 of them. An older man stepped forward. He was tall and had an important air about him. "Miss Park," he said. "I am Mr. Kwon, Jaewon's father." Minji wanted to wipe the oil off her hands, but she had nothing clean. She felt embarrassed standing there in her dirty work clothes in front of all these fancy people. "Hello," she said. Her voice was small. A woman came forward next. She was beautiful and elegant. "I am Dr. Lim," she said. Daehyun's mother. Another couple came forward. "We are Mr. and Mrs. Kim," the man said. Sungmin's parents. Minji felt dizzy. Why were all these important people here? In her garage? "Can we talk inside?" Mr. Kwon asked. But it was not really a question. Minji led them to her small office. It was messy and dirty. She quickly tried to clean a chair, but there was no point. Everything was covered in grease and dust. The important people did not seem to care. They came in and looked around. They saw her father's old photos on the wall. They saw her messy desk with all the bills. They saw her small kitchen with cheap food. Minji felt shame burn in her chest. These people came from money. They could see how poor she was, how she was failing. But Mr. Kwon's face was not disgusted. It was thoughtful. He looked at everything carefully. "My son told me what you did," he said. "You helped them in the storm. You risked your truck to save their bikes. You gave them food and shelter. You asked for nothing in return." "It was nothing," Minji said quietly. "It was not nothing," Dr. Lim said. Her voice was firm but kind. "It was everything. You did not know who they were. You just saw people who needed help. We did not believe them at first," Mrs. Kim said. "We thought maybe they were exaggerating. Or maybe you helped them because you knew they were rich." Minji's face burned. "I did not know," she said. "I still do not really understand who you are." Mr. Kwon smiled for the first time. "That is what makes this special. You helped because it was right, not because you wanted something. One of the men in suits stepped forward. He had a tablet computer. We did research on you, he said. We investigated your garage, your finances, your life. Minji felt scared. Why were they investigating her? We know you were struggling, the man continued. We know the bank wants to foreclose. We know you work alone every day, trying to keep your father's dream alive. Tears burned Minji's eyes. She did not want to cry in front of these people, but hearing her life described like that, it hurt. We want to help you, Mr. Kwan said. Minji stared at Mr. Kwan. Help her? Why would these rich people want to help her? I do not understand, she said slowly. Mr. Kwan sat down in one of her old chairs. The other parents and business people stood around him. The three boys stood near the door, watching quietly. Let me explain, Mr. Kwan said. I own a technology company. We make artificial intelligence for cars, self-driving systems, safety features, things like that. Minji nodded. She still did not understand what this had to do with her. We need real places to test our technology, Mr. Kwan continued. Real garages with real mechanics. Not just laboratories. We need to know if our systems work in the real world. Dr. Lim stepped forward. I run several hospitals, she said. We have ambulances and medical transport vehicles. They need regular maintenance. We need a reliable partner we can trust, Mr. Kim spoke next. My family owns restaurant franchises. We have delivery vehicles, many vehicles. They break down often. We need good mechanics nearby. Minji's head was spinning. What were they saying? The man with the tablet spoke. These families have talked together. They want to invest in your garage. Invest? Minji repeated. The word felt strange in her mouth. Yes, Mr. Kwan said. We want to give you money to upgrade your garage. New equipment. More space. Hire people to help you. Make it into a real automotive center. Minji felt her heart beating fast. This did not feel real. How much money? The man with the tablet looked at his screen. $1.2 million. The room seemed to spin. Minji grabbed the desk to steady herself. What? $1.2 million, the man repeated calmly. That is our initial investment. It will cover building upgrades, new equipment, hiring staff, and operating costs for the first year. Plus, Dr. Lim added, we will give you guaranteed contracts. Our hospitals will use your garage for all medical vehicle maintenance. That is worth about $100,000 per year. Our restaurant company will do the same, Mr. Kim said. Another $100,000 per year. My technology company will pay you to be a testing facility, Mr. Kwan said. $100,000 per year plus bonuses for helping us improve our systems. Minji could not speak. The numbers were too big, too impossible. So that is $300,000 per year, the man with the tablet said. Guaranteed. For 5 years. That is $1.5 million more. Total investment of $2.7 million over 5 years, Mr. Kwan said. He watched Minji's face carefully. Minji felt tears running down her face. She could not stop them. Why, she whispered. Why would you do this? Mrs. Kim came and knelt beside Minji's chair. Because you helped our children, she said softly. You did not know them. You did not know us. But you helped anyway. You risked everything you had, Dr. Lim said. Your truck, your time, your safety. For strangers. That kind of character is rare, Mr. Kwan said. Very rare. We want to invest in people with that kind of character. Minji shook her head. But this is too much. I cannot accept this. It is charity. No, Jaewon said suddenly. He stepped forward. It is not charity. It is business, all the adults looked at him. He walked to Minji and looked in her eyes. We need your garage, he said. My father's company really does need testing facilities. Dr. Lim really does need vehicle maintenance. The Kim family really does need reliable mechanics. This is good business for them. And good business for you, Daehyun added. He came forward too. You get to save your father's garage. You get to help more people. You get to create jobs. Everyone wins, but Minji said. Her voice was shaking. But I do not know how to run a big business. This is just a small garage. I work alone. I do not know about investments and contracts and you will learn, Sungmin said. He was smiling. We will help you. Our families will help you. You are not alone anymore. Minji looked around at all these people. These rich, powerful people who came to her dirty little garage. They were really serious. This was really happening. There is one more thing, Mr. Kwan said. We will own 30% of your business. You will own 70%. That means you are still the boss. You make the final decisions. We are just partners. Why only 30%? Minji asked. You are giving so much money. Because it is your garage, Mr. Kwan said simply. Your father's legacy. We do not want to take that away from you. We just want to help it grow. The man with the tablet handed Minji a folder. This is the contract proposal. You should read it carefully. Maybe have a lawyer look at it. Do not decide right now. Think about it. Minji took the folder with shaking hands. It was thick, full of papers with tiny words. She could not even focus enough to read them. I need time, she said. This is too big, too fast. I need to think. Of course, Dr. Lim said. Take all the time you need. But not too long, Mr. Kim said with a smile. We need a good mechanic soon. Everyone laughed. Even Minji smiled a little through her tears. The family started to leave. They shook Minji's hand one by one. They told her to call if she had questions. They gave her business cards. The boys stayed behind. When everyone else was gone, the three of them stood in front of Minji. Are you okay? Jae-won asked. Minji did not know how to answer. She was not okay. She was overwhelmed, scared, excited, confused, all at the same time. I do not know, she said honestly. This is real, Dae-hyun said. They really want to help. My mother never does anything she does not believe in. Same with my parents, Sungmin said. They investigated you. They know your garage is in a good location. They know you are honest and hardworking. This is real business for them. But it is also because of you, Jae-won said quietly. What you did for us. How you treated us. You showed us what real kindness looks like. Minji wiped her eyes. You are making me cry again. Sorry, all three boys said together. Then they laughed. We should go, Jae-won said. Our parents are waiting. But we will come back. We promise. To visit? Minji asked. To help, Jae-won said. If you say yes to this deal, we want to help you set up everything. We want to be part of this, the boys left. Minji stood alone in her garage again. But this time it felt different. Not empty, full of possibility. She looked at the thick folder in her hands. Then she looked at her father's photo on the wall. What should I do, Dad? She whispered. Of course he did not answer, but she felt like she knew what he would say. He would tell her to read the contract carefully. He would tell her to be smart, but he would also tell her that sometimes good things happen to good people. That night, Minji did not sleep. She read every page of the contract. Some parts she did not understand. She wrote down questions. She looked up words on her phone. The more she read, the more real it became. This was not a trick. This was a real business offer. They would invest money. They would give her contracts. She would upgrade the garage, hire people, help more customers, but there were risks too. What if she failed? What if she could not run a bigger business? What if she let everyone down? Minji thought about her father. He was not a businessman. He was just a mechanic who loved helping people. But he built this garage from nothing. He made it work. Maybe she could too. The next morning, Minji called her aunt. Her aunt was her only family left. She lived 3 hours away in Portland. Aunt Jisoo, Minji said. Something big happened. She explained everything. About the boys. About the storm. About the families and the money. Her aunt was quiet for a long time. Then she said, What is your heart telling you? My heart is scared, Minji said honestly. But what else? Her aunt asked. Minji thought about it. Excited, she said. And hopeful. Then you have your answer, her aunt said. Your father always taught you to listen to your heart. And he always said that accepting help is not weakness. It is wisdom. But what if I fail? Minji asked, What if you succeed? Her aunt replied. After hanging up, Minji sat in her father's chair. She looked around the garage, at the old equipment that barely worked, at the walls that needed paint, at the space that was too small for all the work that needed to be done. She imagined it different. Bigger, better, full of people working together, full of customers getting help, full of life. Then she looked at her list of questions about the contract. She needed answers before she could decide. She picked up her phone and called Mr. Kwan's number. He answered immediately. Miss Park, he said, have you decided? Not yet, Minji said. But I have questions. Many questions. Good, Mr. Kwan said. He sounded pleased. Ask anything. For the next hour they talked. Minji asked about every part of the contract. Mr. Kwan answered patiently. He explained things clearly. When she did not understand, he explained again. What if I make mistakes? Minji asked. You will make mistakes, Mr. Kwan said. Everyone does. But we will help you learn. We are partners. Partners help each other. What if the garage does not make enough money? She asked. Then we figure it out together, he said. We are not looking for quick profit. We are investing in the long term, in you. Why do you believe in me so much? Minji asked. You do not really know me? Mr. Kwan was quiet for a moment. Then he said, My son ran away because he felt trapped, because I pushed him too hard to be something he is not. When he called me from your garage, he sounded different, happy, free. Minji listened. He told me about you, Mr. Kwan continued, about your father's philosophy, people before profit. That night I realized I had forgotten that. I built my company for money, for success, but I forgot about people. His voice got softer. You reminded my son what is important. You reminded me too. That is worth more than money. That is worth investing in. Minji felt tears again. She was crying so much these days. I have one more question, she said. Yes? Can I add something to the contract? She asked. A condition of my own? Of course, Mr. Kwan said. What do you want? Minji took a deep breath. 10% of the garage's profits. I want to give it to scholarships, for young people who want to learn mechanics or engineering or any trade. People who need help but do not have money. There was silence on the phone. Minji worried she asked for too much. Then Mr. Kwan laughed. It was a warm, genuine laugh. Perfect, he said. We will do it. But my company will match that 10%. So 20% total for scholarships. Minji smiled. Really? Really, Mr. Kwan said. See? You are already making the business better. This is exactly why we chose you. That afternoon, Minji met with Mr. Kwan and the other families again. This time she felt different, more confident. She had her questions answered. She knew what she wanted. I will accept your offer, she said, but with my conditions, the scholarship fund. And I need promises. What promises? Dr. Lim asked. Promise you will stay for 10 years minimum, Minji said. Not 5, 10. I do not want to build something big and then have everyone leave. The families looked at each other. The man with the tablet looked worried. 10 years is a long commitment, he said. Yes, Minji said. But you are asking me to change everything, to trust you. I need to know you will stay. Mr. Kwan smiled. We agree. 10 years. Wait, the man with the tablet said. Should we not discuss this more? No, Mr. Kwan said firmly. She is right. If we want her trust, we give our commitment. 10 years. Dr. Lim and the Kim family nodded. Second promise, Minji said. I hire who I want to hire. If I want to give jobs to people who are struggling, people who need second chances, you do not stop me. Like who? Mrs. Kim asked. People who made mistakes in the past, Minji said. People who were in trouble but want to change. My father always believed everyone deserves a chance. I want to honor that. The families looked uncertain, but Jae-won spoke up. Minji gave us a chance, he said to his father. She did not judge us, she just helped. Should we not do the same? Mr. Kwan looked at his son. Pride showed on his face. You are right. We agreed to this condition too. Third promise, Minji said. My father's name stays on the garage, and his philosophy. People before profit. That is our motto. Always. Of course, Dr. Lim said. That is why we are here. We do not want to change who you are. We want to help you be more of who you are. Minji nodded. Then I agree, let us be partners. Everyone shook hands. The man with the tablet looked tired, but everyone else was smiling. The boys were grinning like they won a prize. Papers were signed. Lawyers made everything official. It took 3 hours, but finally it was done. Minji was now the owner of a company worth millions of dollars. It did not feel real. When do we start? She asked. Tomorrow, Mr. Kwan said. My construction team will come to look at the garage. We will plan the renovation. Should we close the garage during construction? No, Minji said. People need their cars fixed. We work around the construction. That will be harder, the man with the tablet said. I do not care, Minji said. We do not abandon our customers. Mr. Kwan nodded. Good. That is the right answer. The next few weeks were crazy. Construction workers came every day. They measured everything. They made plans. They showed Minji drawings of what the new garage would look like. It would be 3 times bigger. It would have modern equipment. It would have a training center where people could learn. It would have a waiting room with comfortable chairs and free coffee. It would even have a small cafe run by the Kim family's restaurant company. Minji walked through the plans in a daze. This was so much bigger than she imagined. Are you okay? Jae-won asked. He came by almost every day to help. I am scared, Minji admitted. What if I cannot handle all this? You will not be alone, Jae-won said. You need to hire people, good people you trust. But who? Minji asked. I do not know many people. Start with what you need, Daehyun said. He was there too, looking at equipment catalogs. You need mechanics. You need someone to manage the schedule. You need someone to handle money and paperwork. Minji thought about it. For mechanics, she could hire young people who wanted to learn. She could train them like her father trained her. For management, she needed someone organized, someone who understood business, but also understood people. I know someone, Sungmin said. He had been quiet, but now he looked excited. My cousin. She just graduated from business school. She is looking for a job. I do not know her, Minji said. Meet her, Sungmin said. Just meet her. If you do not like her, no problem. Minji met Sungmin's cousin the next day. Her name was Hana. She was young, maybe 23. She wore professional clothes but had a warm smile. Sungmin told me about you, Hana said. About what you did for him and his friends. That was brave. It was just the right thing to do, Minji said. That is why I want to work here, Hana said. I studied business at a big university. Everyone there only cared about money, making profit, getting rich. But I want to work somewhere that cares about people. They talked for an hour. Hana was smart. She understood numbers and contracts, but she also understood Minji's vision. She got excited talking about the scholarship program and hiring people who needed chances. Will you hire me? Hana asked at the end. Minji smiled. Yes, welcome to the team. Hana became the office manager. She was amazing. She organized everything. She set up computer systems. She made schedules. She handled phone calls and paperwork. Minji did not know how she survived without help before. Next, Minji needed mechanics. She put up a sign. Hiring mechanics and trainees. Second chances welcome. Many people applied. Some were experienced mechanics looking for better jobs. Some were young people who wanted to learn. And some were people who had made mistakes in the past. There was Maria, a single mother who learned mechanics in the army but could not find work because she had a criminal record from when she was young. She stole a car when she was 17. She served her time and changed her life, but no one would hire her. There was James, a veteran who struggled with alcohol addiction. He was sober now for 2 years and wanted a fresh start. There was Devon, a 19-year-old who dropped out of high school but was brilliant with engines. He just never had anyone believe in him before. Minji hired them all. Hana worried it was risky, but Minji trusted her instincts. My father would have hired them, she said. So I will too. She was right to trust them. Maria was an incredible mechanic, fast and precise. James was patient and good at teaching younger workers. Devon had a natural gift. He could hear what was wrong with an engine just by listening. The construction continued. The garage grew bigger every day. New equipment arrived. Modern lifts that could handle any vehicle. Diagnostic computers that could find problems quickly. Tools that Minji had only dreamed about before. The three boys came by often. Jaewon helped with planning and organization. Daehyun helped set up the technology systems. Sungmin helped design the cafe area. "You are doing so much," Minji told them. "Do your families know you are here all the time?" "They know," Jaewon said. "Actually, my father is happy. He says I am learning real business. Better than sitting in boring meetings." "My mother says the same," Daehyun said. "She likes that I am using my brain for practical things." "Ugh. My parents want me to open a cafe here permanently," Sungmin said. "They see how good it is for business." Minji laughed. "You are all changing your futures." "You changed our futures," Jaewon said seriously. "That night in the storm, you showed us what matters. Now we are choosing our own paths. I'm still working with my father's company, but I'm also making music. I am doing both. I am studying engineering," Daehyun said. "I will be a doctor someday, maybe. But first I want to build things. I am learning to cook for real," Sungmin said, "in real kitchens. Not just managing restaurants from an office." Minji felt proud. Not of herself, but of them. They were brave. They were choosing hard paths instead of easy ones. 3 months after signing the contract, the new garage opened. It was called Park's Automotive Center and Technology Hub. Minji wanted to keep her father's name first. Everything else came second. The opening day was big. The whole town came. People were curious about the fancy new building. Mrs. Chen brought food from her bakery. Sheriff Williams gave a speech about community and second chances. The three families were there with their parents. Mr. Kwan cut the ribbon officially. Dr. Lim gave a speech about investing in good people. The Kim family opened the cafe and everyone loved the food. But the best part was seeing the team. Minji's team. Maria, James, Devon, and 5 other people she hired. They wore matching uniforms with the garage logo. They looked professional and proud. Hana managed everything perfectly. The schedule, the customers, the paperwork, she made it all look easy. "Look at what you built," Jaewon said to Minji. "We built," Minji corrected. "All of us together." That first week they were busy, very busy. The contracts from the 3 families brought many vehicles. Hospital ambulances, delivery trucks, company cars for testing AI systems. But Minji also kept regular customers. The farmers and teachers and store owners who came to her before. She did not forget them. She gave them good prices and good service. "You could charge more," Hana said. "We have better equipment now. Better facilities." "No," Minji said. "These people supported me when I had nothing. I will not charge them more now that I have something." Hana smiled. "Your father would be proud of you." Minji looked at her father's photo, now hanging in a place of honor in the new building. His old tools were displayed in a glass case. His workbench was preserved exactly as he left it. "I hope so," Minji said softly. One day a young girl came to the garage with her mother. The mother's car needed an oil change. While they waited, the girl watched the mechanics work. She was maybe 10 years old with curious eyes. "What are you doing?" the girl asked Devon. "Changing brake pads," Devon said. "Want to see?" The girl nodded excitedly. Devon showed her the brakes. He explained how they worked. The girl asked many questions. Smart questions. "You are good at this," Devon said. "Maybe you will be a mechanic someday." "Girls can be mechanics?" the girl asked. Minji heard this. She walked over and knelt down to the girl's level. "Girls can be anything," Minji said. "I own this whole garage. I fix cars every day. And I am a girl." The girl's eyes got wide. "Really?" "Really," Minji said. "Do you want to see how an engine works?" The girl looked at her mother. The mother was smiling with tears in her eyes. She nodded. Minji took the girl's hand and led her to a training engine they used for teaching. She showed the girl all the parts. The pistons, the spark plugs, the fuel system. She explained everything in simple words. The girl listened like it was the most interesting thing in the world. "When you are older," Minji said, "if you want to learn more, come back. We have a training program. We will teach you everything." "For free?" the girl asked. "We have scholarships," Minji said. "For people who want to learn but do not have money." Your job is to study hard and come back when you are ready. The girl hugged Minji. Her mother came over crying now. Thank you, the mother said. My daughter talks about being a mechanic, but everyone tells her to be a teacher or a nurse. Girl jobs, they say. Thank you for showing her something different. After they left, Jaewon came up to Minji. You just changed that girl's life, he said. Maybe, Minji said. Or maybe I just planted a seed. We will see if it grows. That night after everyone left, Minji walked through the new garage. It was so different from the small building her father left her. But somehow it felt the same. It still felt like home. She sat at her father's old workbench. She picked up one of his old wrenches. It was worn smooth from years of use. We did it, Dad, she whispered. We really did it. 6 months passed like a dream. Minji still could not believe this was her life now. Every morning she woke up in her small apartment. She had moved into a better place, nothing fancy but clean and safe. She could afford it now. But she still arrived at the garage before sunrise. Old habits did not die easily. The garage was always busy. Cars and trucks lined up outside. The waiting room was full of people drinking coffee from Sungmin's cafe. The mechanics worked on vehicles, teaching trainees while they worked. Everything hummed with life. Today was special, though. Today was the grand opening ceremony. 6 months ago was the soft opening, just for the community. But today the families wanted to do something bigger. They invited the mayor, news reporters, and business leaders from all over the state. Minji was nervous. She wore her best clothes, but she kept her father's old work jacket over them. It was her armor, her connection to him. You look great, Hana said. She was wearing a professional suit and looked confident. Are you ready? No, Minji said honestly. Hana laughed. You will be fine. Just be yourself. That is all anyone wants. Outside, a stage was set up. Chairs were arranged for guests. A banner hung above everything. Park's Automotive Center and Technology Hub, grand opening. People started arriving. So many people. Minji recognized some faces. Mrs. Chen from the bakery. Sheriff Williams. Regular customers. Her aunt drove down from Portland. But there were also strangers. Important-looking people in expensive suits. The 3 families arrived together. Mr. Kwon, Dr. Lim, and the Kim family. And, of course, the 3 boys. Jaewon, Daehyun, and Sungmin. They all looked happy. Big day, Jaewon said to Minji. Scary day, Minji corrected. You got this, Daehyun said. Remember, you are the boss. You built this. We built this, Minji said. Together, the ceremony started. The mayor spoke first. He talked about community development and economic growth. He used big words that Minji barely understood. Then Mr. Kwon spoke. He talked about his company and the importance of testing facilities. He explained how the garage helped improve their AI systems. He showed a graph with numbers that went up. Everyone clapped. Dr. Lim spoke next. She talked about the medical transport program. She said the garage serviced their vehicles better than any other company. She said they were expanding the program to 3 more counties because of the garage's excellent work. More clapping. Mr. Kim talked about the delivery business. He said the garage cut their vehicle downtime by 40%. He said that meant faster deliveries and happier customers. He announced they were hiring more drivers because the business was growing. Even more clapping. Then it was Minji's turn. She walked up to the microphone on shaking legs. All those people stared at her. She felt like she might be sick. She looked at the crowd. Then she saw her father's old sign, preserved and hanging on the building. People before profit. She took a breath and started speaking. I am not good at speeches, she said. Her voice shook. I am a mechanic. I am better with engines than with words. Some people laughed gently. It helped her relax a little. 6 months ago I was alone, she continued. My garage was small. I was failing. I could not pay my bills. The bank wanted to take everything. I thought I would lose my father's legacy. She saw people leaning forward, listening. Then 3 teenage boys came to my garage in a storm. They needed help. I helped them because it was the right thing to do. That is what my father taught me. People before profit, always. She looked at Jaewon, Daehyun, and Sungmin. They were smiling. I did not know those boys were from rich families. I did not know their parents were important people. I just knew they were cold and scared and needed help. She paused. Her eyes were getting wet. They came back the next day. Not just them. Their whole families. And they made me an offer I could not believe. Money, support, partnership. They could have just said thank you and left. But they did more. So much more. Minji looked around at everything. The new building. The equipment. The people working. The customers waiting. The trainees learning. This is not just a garage, she said. This is a dream come true. Not just my dream. My father's dream. A place where people can get their cars fixed fairly. A place where people can learn skills. A place where people who made mistakes can get second chances. She saw Maria in the crowd wiping her eyes. James was nodding. Devon was grinning. We have 12 employees now, Minji said. Some were struggling to find work. Some were struggling with their past. But here they get a chance. They get respect. They get dignity. She looked at the banner about scholarships hanging nearby. We have a scholarship program, she said. We already gave out 15 scholarships. 15 young people are learning mechanics and engineering. They are building their futures. That number will grow. Now she looked directly at the three families. I want to thank the Kwan family, the Lim family, and the Kim family. You invested in me when no one else would. You believed in me when I did not believe in myself. You did not just give money. You gave hope. Mr. Kwan was smiling. Dr. Lim was nodding. Mrs. Kim was crying. But most of all, Minji said, I want to thank 3 boys who got stuck in a storm. Jaewon, Daehyun, and Sungmin. You did not see a poor mechanic who was failing. You saw someone who helped you and you wanted to return that kindness. You changed my life. You changed many lives. The 3 boys looked embarrassed but happy. My father used to say we fix more than machines here. Minji finished. I finally understand what he meant. We fix lives. We fix futures. We fix hope. Thank you all for being part of this. Everyone stood up and clapped. It was loud and long. Minji felt tears running down her face, but she did not care anymore. These were happy tears. After the ceremony, people toured the facility. They saw the work bays with modern equipment. They saw the training center where young people learned. They saw the cafe where Sungmin's team served amazing food. They saw the comfortable waiting room with free coffee and Wi-Fi. The mayor pulled Minji aside. This is impressive, he said. Really impressive. You created jobs. You are training the next generation. You are serving the community. I am making a declaration. What declaration? Minji asked. Today is now Minji Park Day in our town, he said. Every year on this date, we celebrate community service and second chances. Because of you. Minji did not know what to say. A day named after her? It seemed too much, but Mrs. Chen hugged her. Your father would be so proud, she said. So very proud. Sheriff Williams shook her hand. You proved me right, he said. I told you that you had good instincts. You saw something in those boys. Now look what happened. The afternoon was full of tours and questions and congratulations. But finally, as evening came, the crowd got smaller. Most people went home. Only the 3 families and Minji's team remained. They all sat in the cafe area. Sungmin's staff brought out food. It felt like a family dinner, not a business event. I have an announcement, Mr. Kwan said. He stood up and raised his glass of water. My company is very pleased with this partnership. So pleased that we want to expand the program. Expand? Minji asked. We want to create garages like this in other communities, Mr. Kwan said. Places that need investment. Places with people like you, Minji. People with character and vision. We want to do the same, Dr. Lim said. Our medical transport program is so successful here. We want to copy this model in other cities. Our delivery business is growing, Mr. Kim added. We need more reliable partners. More places like this. Minji felt overwhelmed. That sounds like a lot of work. Not for you, Mr. Kwan said. You focus on this garage. We will find other people like you. You can help train them. Share your knowledge. Be a mentor. Like a teacher? Minji asked. Exactly, Dr. Lim said. You did something special here. Other people can learn from you. Jaewon leaned over to Minji. 1 year from now, he said quietly, there will be 8 garages like this, in 8 different communities, all because of what you started. That is crazy, Minji said. That is amazing, Jaewon corrected. Later, after the families left and the team went home, Minji found herself alone in the garage. Well, not completely alone. The 3 boys had stayed behind. Should you not go home with your families? Minji asked. In a minute, Jaewon said. We wanted to talk to you first. They walked to the preserved section where Minji's father's old tools and workbench were displayed. The boys looked at the photos on the wall. We never met your father, Dae-hyun said, but we feel like we know him. Through you. He taught you well, Sung-min said. What do you mean? Minji asked. You taught us something important, Jae-won said. That night in the storm we were running away. Running from our families, from expectations, from everything. We thought we wanted freedom. He looked at his friends. They nodded. But you showed us something different, Jae-won continued. You showed us that freedom is not running away. Freedom is choosing your purpose. You chose to help people. You chose to honor your father's legacy. You chose hard work and sacrifice. And you are happier than anyone we know. I do not know about happy, Minji said. I still worry all the time. But you have purpose, Dae-hyun said. You know why you wake up every morning. That is worth more than money. Worth more than anything. We went back to our families, Sung-min said. But we went back different. We are not just doing what they say anymore. We are finding our own ways. Jae-won makes music. I cook real food. Dae-hyun builds things. We are still part of the family businesses, but we are also ourselves. Because of you, Jae-won said. Minji shook her head. I did not do anything special. I just helped you when you needed it. Exactly, Jae-won said. You just helped. No agenda, no expectations, just kindness. That changed everything. They were quiet for a moment, standing in front of the display of Minji's father's tools. He would be proud of you, Dae-hyun said. I hope so, Minji whispered. We know so, Sung-min said firmly. The boys left. Minji stood alone in the garage. Her garage, her father's garage. Their legacy together. She thought about the past 6 months, about everything that changed. About Maria, who bought her first house last month. About James, who was teaching welding classes to trainees and found new purpose. About Devon, who got accepted to engineering college while still working part-time. She thought about the 15 scholarship students. About the little girl who wanted to be a mechanic. About all the people who came through these doors and left with more hope than they arrived with. She thought about her father. About his philosophy. People before profit. We did good, Dad, she said to his photo. We are helping people. Lots of people. That is what you wanted, right? The photo did not answer, of course, but Minji felt peace. Deep peace. She turned off most of the lights and locked up. But before she left, she stopped at the entrance. She looked at the sign above the door. Big letters that said, People Before Profit, Parks Automotive Center. Tomorrow the garage would open again. More cars would come. More people would need help. More lives would be touched. The work never ended. But that was okay. That was the point, Minji smiled. For the first time in years, she felt truly happy. Not because she had money now. Not because she had a fancy garage. But because she had purpose. She was helping people. She was making a difference. She thought about that stormy night 6 months ago. 3 scared boys running into her garage. If she had turned them away, where would she be now? Probably losing the garage. Definitely alone, but she did not turn them away. She helped. And that one small act of kindness created ripples that spread far beyond anything she imagined. As Minji walked to her car, she saw the young girl from earlier in the week. The 10-year-old who wanted to be a mechanic. The girl was with her mother walking past the garage. When the girl saw Minji, she waved excitedly. Minji waved back and watched them walk away. Maybe that girl would come back in a few years. Maybe she would be one of the scholarship students. Maybe she would become a great mechanic. Maybe she would help someone else someday. Another ripple. Minji drove home thinking about ripples. How one act of kindness creates another. How helping one person can change a whole community. How a small garage can become a hub of hope. She thought about the future. About the 8 garages that would be created in other communities. About the hundreds of people who would be helped. About the thousands of lives that would be touched. All because 3 boys got stuck in a storm. And one mechanic girl decided to help. Minji pulled into her apartment parking lot. She sat in her car for a moment, looking up at the stars. They were bright tonight, thank you, she whispered. She did not know who she was thanking. Maybe her father. Maybe the universe. Maybe just life itself. She went inside and got ready for bed. Tomorrow would be another busy day. More cars to fix. More people to help. More lives to touch, but tonight Minji slept peacefully. She dreamed of her father. In the dream, he was smiling. He was proud. He was saying something, but she could not hear the words. But she did not need to. She knew what he was saying. You did good, Minji. You did real good. And in the morning, when she woke up and drove back to the garage, she saw a new sign hanging in the training center. Hana must have put it up. The sign said, 1 year later, 47 jobs created, 15 scholarships awarded, 8 communities inspired. Below that, in smaller letters, it started with 1 act of kindness in a storm. Minji stood staring at the sign. Then she smiled. She picked up a wrench and went to work. There were cars waiting, people who needed help, lives to touch, and she was ready. People before profit, always.